Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning practice. We'll be spending the next hour and a half together. And by the way, after today, I need to take 2 weeks off. Okay, I'll remind everyone of that at the end of class. So today we're going to be doing what's called the Jing at the end of the class, and our pairing is Qi massage. We're going to be massaging from the fingers to the toes. We're going to be doing some tapping and scraping and so forth. And these are extremities. And so let's get started. I'll talk as we go. So let's take our left hand, focus on the fingers, focus on the joints. We're going to take the right thumb and going to put the thumb on top of the joints, and we're just going to gently massage it. Right, just gently massage the front, the left, back to the front, to the right, back to the center, and then after we finish one joint, we move to the next one. We don't have to use a lot of force, just very gently massaging the joints, one joint at a time, one fingers at a time. So today's word is biological age. Biological age. So as we all know, we have a election going on, and we have two candidates who, if they were elected, would be in their 80s, the early 80s. So we consider a elderly, obviously. Now we use the left thumb, work on the right hand. Again, one finger at a time, one joint at a time. The front, the left, back to the front, to the right, and then back to the front. Very gently massage the joints. But somehow we treat the two candidates very differently. One, we think that he's well beyond his prime, is not fit for office anymore. And the other one, we don't seem to think that. And so there are a lot of reasons for that, I'm sure. Um, but some people think that, well, that's probably because their biological age is different. Their biological age is different. Okay. Now we're going to finish. We finished with the joints. We're going to work on the fingertips. All right. So we first work on the back of the hand, and we're going to take one finger at a time. We're going to use the right hand, both the thumb and the index finger, and we're going to put that around the nail, the two corners of the nail. That is typically the beginning of the meridians, the energy lines, the chi and channels. So we're going to squeeze one finger at a time. And so there are a lot of interests these days on biological age, right? So, for example, I'm 68. I don't know if my biological age is more or less, but I absolutely don't feel 68. All right. Now we're done with the fingertips. And so now let's just kind of make a fist, and we're going to work on in between the knuckle, right? So massage the knuckle. You're going to feel some pain. And that's a sign that um, in the Chinese way of thinking about it is the sign that your qi is blocked. Qi in this case is what we call a live energy. All right. So now we're going to work on the back of the hand, and you notice that the fingers are still individual, but then they eventually join together at the wrist. So in between the bones, massage that. And then when they join together, there's actually like two dimples. So if you take two fingers, you can put that on top. You can feel the two dimple and just kind of massage that. All right. And now we're going to massage the thumb individually. We use the thumb more than any other fingers. And so we're going to massage the thumb again on the joints, and then in between the bones, and then in the front, and kind of give it a good massage. And then now we're going to do the same thing on the right hand. First we're going to massage around the nails, and then we're going to massage in between the knuckle, and then we're going to massage along the back of the hand in between the bones. So there's a lot of interest on biological age. What does it mean, right? And so if you just do a Google search, you find that there are a lot of companies that sells tests that you could do at home that would tell you your biological age, right? Now you take two fingers, you put that, and then you kind of just massage that. All right. And then now you massage your thumb, especially if you're right-handed. This right thumb hurts a lot, right? Because that's the index, that's the digit that you use the most. Okay. And we use the thumb more than any other digit. In fact, the use of the thumb is the beginning of our evolution. Is We finally know how to hold on to a weapon, right? That's how we started to walk down from the trees and then start to walk upright, right? All the things that we do, all right? Massage that. My thumb hurts a lot. So I massage all day, a couple of times a day. Right? This is what I do. All right. So now we're done with the back of the hand. We're going to work on the face of the hand. So back to the tips again. So we're going to massage the tip, and then we're going to massage the other hand. Right. These are the things you ought to be doing regularly. Whenever you find time, watching TV, waiting for the bus, whatever. All right. So now we're going to put the hands together, and imagine there's a circle here. Just going to rub the palm of the hand together. And then we're going to put the right on top of the left, squeeze the fingers a bit, and just kind of massage that. Now, what you find is that when you massage the fingers, you not only relieve the pain on the fingers, but they actually relieve the pain all through the body. It's actually a very, very important exercise to make sure that your circulation is good. Now, when I take off 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing some flying again, and that's the exercise that I do in the plane. In addition to when I walk out of my seats, I go to the bathroom and I do some standing on my toes. So those are the two exercises that I do. All right. Okay, so now we're going to do some finger exercise, which is very important. And so let me continue on this premature aging or biological aging. So there's one test that is sort of recognized by the scientists. It's called the glycan test. I believe it's spelled Glycan. Someone correct me. Um, and um, what it does is it tests inflammation. It tests the amount of inflammation you have in the body, and they use that as an indicator of your premature aging. So everything comes back to premature aging. I mean, everything comes back to inflammation. And what we're doing here is clearing the channel, letting the life energy flow through our body, and the end effect of that is that it reduces inflammation. All right. Okay, so now one of the big things that we have that is related to inflammation is in fact high blood pressure. We think of high blood pressure itself as a disease, but it's not. It's just a symptom. There's a lot of reason for high blood pressure, one of which is really the heart and the lung, that you just somehow you're not generating enough oxygens that get delivered to the brain. Your body senses that you don't have enough oxygen and increase the pressure. So when you take high blood pressure medicine to knock down the high blood pressure, the body actually suffer from because of that. And so there's one exercise that I started to do with my Chinese students, and it activates two of the important energy points that has to do with the heart and the lung. And so the heart has two energy lines. One is called the heart, which is really like the mental state. Chinese, they don't separate the heart from the mind. And then the middle one is the one that we call the pericardium, which is the muscle and all the stuff that around the heart. So that's really the heart. And then the lung is right here. Okay. So now there are two energy points. One is in the center of the palm, that's the pericardium, and one is on the outside. Okay. That's actually the large intestine meridian, but it's the yang side of the lung. So it's very important for the lung. So this one exercise that we do now that is very simple. So you look at your palm, you see the fingers. You imagine that this is a square, a square. You take your thumb, you put that on one corner of the square, you move it up to the tip of the pinky, and then imagine that the other side of the square, you just move across by touching all the fingertips. You get to the index fingers, you move down to the root of the index fingers, and then you move back. That's it. Now, what you're doing is that it's very miraculous because after a while, your center of your palm sweat, and then this one actually aches a little. So let's try this, okay? Now, put the hands together. Imagine that you have a square. You put your thumb, you put that in one corner of the square, you slice it up to the tip of the fingers, you put your fingers together, and then you slide across to the index finger. You come back to the root of the index fingers, and then you go across again. Okay? So let's do that 10 times. All right? Up, across, down, back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Okay, it's very simple. Just up back again, put your palms together, all the fingers. Imagine that this is like a square. You start at one corner of the square, you go up to the other corner, you move around the fingertips until you get to the index finger. That's the other corner. You come down and then you go across like this. Okay, so when you do that, you activate this energy point. This one is called the chamber of labor. It's a very important energy point for the pericardium. And you energize this point, which is called the merging valley, which is a very important energy point for the large intestines. And there's been some really good data that says that this will improve your high blood pressure because it improves your lung and your heart uh, efficiency. Okay. All right. So do this on your own, 5 minutes maybe. All right. Okay. So now this is another. There's one exercise. There's another one that we do, and you take your thumb and your index finger together and you squeeze as hard as you can. Then the middle finger and you squeeze as hard as you can. Then the the ring finger and you squeeze, and the pinky and you squeeze. And then you do the second part where you put the thumb in the middle of the finger and you do the same thing. Okay, so this exercise is been shown to uh, either reduce the chance of having a stroke, or if you were to have a stroke, it helps you to recover because it activates all the meridians in the fingers, which are the heart, the lung, and the pericardium, and the large intestine, the small intestines, all that, right? Okay, so now the next exercise that we're going to do is we're going to put the hands together, all the fingers touching. We push as hard as we can. We keep the palm close together, and then we're going to bring it down and then come back. Okay, so now we're going to do some tapping. We're going to tap the fingertips. So put the fingers tip together. We're going to tap 30 times. Get ready, go. And then we're going to cross the fingers. We're going to tap at the root of the fingers. Get ready, go. And now we're going to tap some important energy points on the palm of the hand. Again, this is the mind, or what we call the heart, and this is the thumb, which is part of the lung meridian. And but it's more accurate to think of them as the 5 elements and not so much the organ, because it's much more than organ. This one is the fire. This one is the mineral. All right. So if you look at your palm, you see how the fingers comes down. There's a part here. There's a muscle here, meaty part. Same thing on the other side. So first we're going to put the palm together. All right. Okay, so this is meat against meat. All right, get ready, go 30 times. And then we do the opposite, all right? So the forming the V with the palm 30 times. Okay, so again, the heart meridians is really more the mind meridians. So a lot of times the best indication that there's deficiency on that energy line is when you can't fall asleep, or that you can't fall asleep, but it's not a very good quality sleep. And so there's some energy points besides this one. There's one here, very famous. And if you take your wrist, you go like this. Okay, it's right here. So let's put that one together, and we're going to tap that 30 times. And there's the opposite of that. On the thumb, you come down here like this, and this one is part of the lung meridian. So um, if you feel that you're not getting enough air, you're huffing and puffing, especially when you walk up and down the stairs, then we usually do this one too. Okay, get ready, go. Okay, all right. So now this is the yin side, the absence of the sun. This is the yang side, the presence of the sun. And so from the heart, we go to the small intestines. From the lung, we go to the large intestines. So first we go to the side that is facing the sun. You take your hand, you fold it. There's a line across. It's right here, right here. Okay. So now you put your palms together. This time you have to make it flat so it's facing up. You make a soft fist. It's right here. Get ready, go. Okay. All right. So I remember I talked about this exercise that we do with the fingers, and I mentioned this energy point, and then I mentioned this energy point, right? So now we're going to tap this one. This is called the merging valley. So if you put your hands together, you feel that little bump here. You open, all of a sudden you see a valley. You take the energy point that we had over here, you put that on top of the valley, and you tap that. Now this one actually has many purpose. And back to the high blood pressure, this one is very good for reducing high blood pressure. Again, you put that on top and 30 times. And then same thing on the other side. You take this energy point, you just put it on top of that V and 30 times. Okay, there's one more energy point. Again, today we're going to talk about high blood pressure. So this is called the the palm at the bent. So you bend your hand like this is part of the large intestines, and then there's like this, right? So one way to do this is just make a soft fist 30 times. And the other side. Okay, all right, so we're done with some finger massage. We're done with some tapping, and now we're going to do some scraping, all right? And so we're going to take our hand, work on the inside as well as the outside. Again, there's 3 here and then 3 there, right? So you take your right hand, you use the knuckle now, and you start at the elbow, you go to the wrist, and first in the center, that's the pericardium, and then you go down, and then where you normally wear the watch, there's an important energy point there. It regulates the heartbeat. So if you're a heart murmur, okay, now you go to the wrist, and then very slowly come back. Now this one I do all day, and because my hand hurts a lot from carpal tunnel. Um, so carpal tunnel is inflammation. And so pain is because the chi is blocked. So you're scraping clears the chi, reduce inflammation, right? Okay, so now you see the bone on top. On one side of the bone is the lung, the other side is the large intestine. So first on the inside, from the elbow, slowly get to the wrist and then back. And then now on top of the bone, and then the other side of the bone, the large intestine. And then the middle one is called the triple warmer, which unfortunately is a mistranslation because the word jiu means focus. So it's sometimes called triple focus, but it's really, it means membrane. That's the unfortunate translation. And what it talks about is the membrane inside that's separated into three compartments. All right. So we scrape this. This is actually very important. All the way to the wrist, come back to the elbow, all the way to the wrist. And then now we scrape the back of the hand, the thumb, and then back, scrape. And if you have pain in your body, you would appreciate this exercise. If you don't have any pain, you're in the wrong class. All right, work on the inside. All right, so now we're going to work on this thing called the mental, the heart, the mind. Okay, so first work on the elbow, and then back to the wrist. Very important. About 4 inches. There's like 4 energy points there. Very important. Okay, now we're going to do like the other side again. The center first, using a scraping tool. You can also get a scraping tools, right? Go to Amazon, just look for that. You can buy one. Sometimes our fingers hurt so much, like my mom, she can't use her fingers. Okay, now move up a little bit. And then now on top of the bone, sometimes you can feel like some kinks on top of the bone. That's indication that the chi is blocked. Now rotate the hands a bit so you're on the other side of the bone. And then the center line, the triple warmer, the back of the hand, the fingers, the thumb, back of the hand. Once again, the middle, and then rotate the hands so you get to the bone. Rotate it some more, and then now you're on the center line. And then don't forget the mind meridian, especially this area right here, and then all the way back. Okay, all right. So now we're ready to do the next exercise, which is back to the fingers again, right? So this one actually is more energetic. It sends energy out, and then action, you could do reaction, and then it comes back. So it improves the circulation. All right. So let's just go back to a spine. Move along the spine towards the top of the head. Stretch the spine. Sit back, relax, open the shoulder, and then relax. Now, I always emphasize sitting with the spine straight like this because it's when the Chinese philosophy to health is very different. We're not talking about components. So even though I use names like the heart, the mind, the lung, we're really not talking about the components. We're talking about the energy, right? We're talking about the energy. And so whenever we do this chi exercise, we're actually creating energy flow in the body. And one of the big conduit for energy is actually the spine. So it's very important that you sit properly when you do this exercise, right? So the way we do that is that we start at the bottom of the spine. We walk along the spine towards the ceiling. We stretch the spine as if we're hanging the spine on the ceiling. And then we lean back, relax, open the shoulder, and then relax, right? So you will hear me talk about that all the time. And now we take our fingers, all 10 pointing the camera. Four fingers are the spring. The thumb is holding down the springs. We wind up the springs, wind up the four fingers. We hold it down with the thumb, and then get ready. 1, as hard as you can. 2, lock your elbow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We continue. And once again, we stretch your spine, open that shoulder, relax the shoulder. There's 2 energy point here. It's called gate to the cloud. It's part of the lung meridians. As it travels up, it goes inside the body through here. And so we're going to open that, relax. We're going to take our hands, we form what's called the lotus hand. We take the thumb and the middle finger together, we squeeze them. Then we take the other 3, we open them up. We put that on top of the gate to the cloud. Once again, we open the shoulder and we relax. Back of the hand facing the camera. Get ready. 1, back of the hand facing the cameras. Open up all the fingers. Come back, forming the lotus hand once again. Thumb pushing down on the middle fingers, or the other 3 stretch out. Put that on our shoulder. Open the shoulder. Back of the hand facing the camera. Get ready. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? All right, so that's a lot of work from the fingertips to essentially the shoulder. And now we're going to work on from the shoulder up until they get to the top of the head. So first we're going to work on the neck. And this is especially good exercise for those who are taking high blood pressure medicine. Because when your high blood pressure goes up, one reason is because you're not getting enough oxygen. And when you knock down the high blood pressure, thinking that it by itself is a disease, where in fact it's just a symptom, you're actually restricting even more oxygen to your brain. And then all of a sudden you start have a lot of pain in here, right? Everybody has that. And so we're gonna, and then the pain in the neck, the shoulder causes pain everywhere else. So we want to learn how to loosen up these meridians, allowing more flow into the head. And so there are a couple of energy points. So I'll talk about this in a minute, but there's one here, and then top of the head, right? So first we're going to sit up straight, back to our posture, stretch your spine, lean back, relax, open the shoulder, relax. Now we're going to take 2 hands, put that in the back of the skull, lock your fingers, use the thumb until you find this cavity. And now we're going to look straight ahead. We're going to push down with the thumb, lean back the neck a bit. All right, so we're providing some pressure. Now, this is like squeezing the rubber hose when you wash your car. You're basically increasing the pressure of the flow, and hold the pressure. You feel the tenderness. Yeah. And then relax. Take your right hand, put that on the left side, push down with 4 fingers, lean back. And then now grab the left side of the neck and pull it gently to the right side as if you're opening the channel. Same thing on the other side. Press down and pull it to the left. Now you take the right hand, you put that under the ear, and then you just kind of massage. And you need to whisper to yourself and tell yourself, relax, relax. And then the other side, relax, relax, relax. Now you take your right hand, you put that on top of the ear, you bring it down. Once again, you tell yourself to relax. And then you do the same thing on the right hand side. Okay, now you sit up straight, you take the 2 fingers to thumb, and then you put that on top of this cavity. This is called the pond of wind, and then you just kind of massage that now. And then you move towards the ear in the middle on top of the skull, and you massage, and there's a little bit tender right here. And this one actually helps you sleep, okay? Now you take your thumb on one side, 4 fingers on the other, and you start kind of massage the neck, and you move down to the middle of the neck. Now, this actually, we will need to continue, but first we're going to massage the shoulder, and we get back into the middle. And so now we're going to This energy point here is part of the meridian that we name after the gallbladder. It actually travels down to your shoulder. And so as it travels down to your shoulder, we want to take our right hand, use the edge of the palm and kind of scrape that. And then we're going to massage the top of the shoulders, called the well on the shoulder. Now, as you move back, you see a cavity here, and this is called the door of wind. Massage that. And then you massage the shoulder. And then same thing on the right hand side. Start with the neck down, scrape. And then on the shoulder, in the back, there's a cavity here. And then you massage the shoulder. All right. So the shoulder, and then there's two cavity here, right? So now we take a hand. It's best that you put your hand inside the shirt, but I do it outside the shirt to show you. And you just kind of bring those two energy points together. And then you move up the neck until you get to the middle. And then you move up again until you get to the wind of pond, a pond of wind. And you back down like this, okay? So that's how you massage the back. All right. All right, so now we're going to massage the face, right? Notice that we're doing all the energy lines. So back to the palm again and massage the face, the side of the face, the temple, the forehead, and then I'll move up, and then where the forehead ends and the hair starts, that's an important area to massage as well. And then on top, now you get to the part of the brain that is responsible for all your cognitive function, the big brain. You move back slightly. That's the part that is responsible for all the memory. And then your lower part, that's all the motor functions. And then the neck, where we were before. And then back. And then now you massage the side of the head above the ear. Back to the top of the head, back to the face, back to the hand. Okay? All right. So now we're going to massage the face first around the eyes. Okay? So there's a lot of energy points around the eyes. Starting at the beginning of the eyebrow, you take your index fingers, you put that on the eyebrow, beginning of the eyebrow. You feel that there's a cavity. You sit up straight. You press down with the index finger. You provide some pressure by leaning forward a bit. Hold the pressure. All right, now you put the index finger in between the eyebrow and you squeeze the eyebrow by massaging all three energy points on the eyebrow. And then you take your thumb, you put that on the corner of the eye, you just kind of slide below the eye bag until you get to the tail. And then same thing on the other side. And then you come back to the beginning, the corner of the eye, you move up slightly. There's an eye socket right there. And you can feel if you after some practice, you can actually feel that there's a cavity there. And you sit up straight, you apply some pressure. We're going to do some eye yoga. So you close your eye, you rotate your eyeball up as if you're looking at the ceiling. Okay, it's very important that you actually have a focus. But you close your eye, you open, you rotate your eyeball as if you're looking at the ceiling. You rotate your eyeball to the right, you're actually looking far right. You rotate your eyeball down as if you're looking at the floor. Then to the left as if you're looking at far left. Back to the ceiling again. Right, down, left, up, right, down, left, up. Now we're going to go counterclockwise. Left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. And then open your eyes. Now you take two fingers, you put that at the corner of your face, at the corner of the eye. You go down to the corner of your mouth and you meet them at the chin. Okay, now you take your thumb, you put that below the eye, you come down to the cheekbone, and then you pull up, you apply pressure up like this. And then you take the index finger, you put that outside. This is called the welcome fragrance. This is your sinus. Then you take four fingers and you massage right here. Okay, so this is an important part. And this is where the body senses the lack of oxygen. All right. Now we come to the ears. The ears are very, very important, especially if you have high blood pressure. So first we're going to put the thumb on top like this. We use 4 fingers and we kind of massage the back of the fingers, back of the ear. Then you put that in the middle and 4 fingers in the back. And then you put the index fingers on the bottom. Now we separate this into 3 parts because they correspond to the internals. All the energy points that is in your body actually reflects here. So massage. Now we're going to massage the tip and we're going to pull that out like this. Then we're going to massage the rim, right, until you get to the ear loop. And we're going to pull the ear loop a little bit. Then we put the thumb behind the ear loop. We use the index finger, put that outside the ear, and we just kind of circulate like this. Then we go up and down. Okay, now we're going to massage the back of the ear. This is the part that's important if you have high blood pressure. So you take your ear and you notice that there's like a bend right here. And so we're going to massage the bend all very thoroughly. And then we do the same thing on the other side. See this bend right behind from the top of the ear down and then go back up. And now we're going to use 2 fingers. We're going to put that behind the ear, one on the ear, one on the skull, and we're going to massage. And then the other side. And then one last thing we do is called drumming the ear, as if you're drumming the ear. But we don't do this, right? Because we don't want to hurt the eardrum. And so you take your hand, you put that behind the ear, you stretch, and then you pop. Okay, get ready, second time. And then one last time. Okay, all right, so we're done with the face under the ear. Time for the top of the head. Okay, a lot of work, a lot of work. Okay, all right, stretch the spine, lean back, relax, open the shoulder, relax. Okay, now lean back the forehead so that the ear's on top of the shoulder, and then tuck in your chin so that the top of the head is on top of the spine. Now you take your 10 fingers, you put that on top, right? So this is where the energy point is called 100 meet, is where all the yang energy come together. It's actually right on top of the ear. But there's actually 4 energy points on 4 corners. So all you have to do is kind of cover that with your fingers pointing down. All right, now once again, sit up straight, don't look down, get ready, go. Okay, now the next one is called combing the hair. We're not scraping the hair. We're not using fingernails. We're using the front part of the hand. We put that on the forehead, thumbs on the side, and then we just kind of massage the skull all the way down to the neck. Second time, third time. And now we put the fingers on top of the ear. First time, second, and then third time. All right. Okay. So we continue. We started at the top of the head. We start tapping until we get to the bottom of the feet. How to work? First, we're going to sit back straight up, open the shoulder, relax. This energy point here called the well in the shoulder. We did that. This energy point here called the gated cloud. We did that too. And so now we're going to tap that together. So once again, stretch, relax. Take the right hand, empty hand. Empty hand means that you're drinking water with it, so that you create a pocket. And so when you tap, you're not using mechanical force, you're using air. Okay, now you put your fingers on top, your palm of the hand in front, you turn your head to the right, you listen with your left ear. Wake up, continue. And now the other side, open the shoulder, relax the shoulder, left hand, empty hand, put that on Fingers on top, palm of the hand in the center. You turn your head to the left. You listen with the right ear. Get ready. Wake up. Continue. Okay, now you get to the armpit, which is a very important energy point for the mind. So it starts at the finger, the little fingers, it travels. We cover all that. And now it ends into the body at the armpit. So you take your left elbow, you put that on top of your head, you sit up straight, you don't look down, look straight ahead. Then you take your finger, you squeeze the upper part of the ear, right? And you take your right arm hand, empty hand, you put that on the armpit, you turn your head to the right, you listen with the left ear, wake up, continue. And then the other side, you take your right elbow, you put that on top of the head, you sit up straight, you slightly squeeze the upper part of the left ear, you turn your head to the left, you take your left hand, empty hand, you put that on your right side. Get ready, wake up, continue. Okay, now we get to the armpit. I mean, that was the armpit. Now we get to the elbow. Okay, so we take our left hand, we lock the elbow. We take the palm of the hand, we put that at eye level. We take the right hand, empty hand, put the fingers on top, so we're covering both the lung and the pericardium. The center of the palm is on the outside, so we're covering the mind. Get ready, wake up, continue. And now the other side, stretch, lock, hands at eye level, left hand, empty hand, turn to the left, right ear. Get ready, wake up, continue. Okay, so now we're done with the upper body. We still have more work, but we can do that when we're sitting, when we're standing. All right. So now we're getting ready for the lower part of our body. Okay. And so there's 12 meridians, each one for 2 hours of the day, making 24 hours a day. And 6 of them is the upper part of the body. Start at the upper part of the body. 6 of them start at the lower part of the body. They actually travels all over. And so the lower part is the liver, the kidney, and the spleen. Okay, and so we start with the liver. Now, the liver is also a big part of um, the what we talk about high blood pressure, but we'll get there in a minute. So right here is above the knee, 2 energy points. Get ready. Now this time we use what's called a soft fist. Okay, so don't hold it tight like this. Don't try to beat yourself into submission. Okay, get ready, go. And then second time. Okay, now we close the knee, and then now we walk on the outside. So inside is away from the sun, that's yin. Outside is exposed to the sun, that's yang. And so inside is liver, outside is the meridian, the yang meridian that we name after the gallbladder. So we've done some gallbladder, like the back of the neck. We always have a name that is associated with wind. Wind is something that you cannot see, you cannot taste, you cannot smell, you can only feel. So wind is the Chinese way of saying nerve. And so this has to do with nerve, and it's been said that it reduces your chance of having a stroke. So these two energy points are important for that. Get ready? Go. Second one. Okay, now that's above the knee. Below the knee, we continue. There's three energy points below the knee. The first one is right below the knee, so on the outside. So if you slide your finger up, you get to a point where you can't go anymore. That's the where we want to be. And so if you go to acupuncturists, they always put a needle in here. This one increases your immunity. Get ready? Go. And then further down in the middle. And further down. Okay, so Sandhya asks, why do we turn the head? I don't know what OLS mean. So I'm assuming that she said when we were tapping, why do we turn our head? Um, you don't have to. You don't have to. I just do it as a habit. But I think it has some benefit. First, it allows you to focus on your ear. So when you turn your head, you can actually listen to your ear. But I think turning the head by itself is an important exercise that we do as we age. Okay. But other than that, no big reason. Okay. Now that's the energy line that we name after the gallbladder. There's part of the yang energy line. And so there's another energy line in front also facing the sun. So also yang. And this one we name after the stomach. Okay. And now we find the knee, go down, find the bone, just right outside the bone, facing forward. This one is actually very important. This one is helps you with your digestion. Get ready, go. Okay, now another four fingers, again pointing, finding the bone right on the outside. Get ready, go. Okay, all right, so there's one more yang energy line, which is the one that we name after the bladder, which is in the back of the hand. Now, the bladder is the yang side of the kidney. The kidney is a very important energy line. We'll get to that in a minute. And the element is water. So this is really where the source of life starts. And the essence of the kidney is the marrow. And the Chinese believe that the brain is part of the marrow. And so this energy line is very important. And in the Western medicine, they actually call it the second heart. So first, I want you to examine your calf. The calf is actually very important for your health. And as you age, your calf deteriorate to the point where people who suffer from dementia, that's the first thing that happens is that the calf deteriorate. And you will find that the exercise that we do at the final stage, I mean, after this, really focus on the calf, right? So we stand certain way to exercise the calf, to energize the calf. So I want you to massage the calf. And then at the bottom of the calf, kind of in the middle of the hand, there's a cavity here. I want you to put that on the right knee and kind of, man, it really hurts, man. Okay, now this is a very important energy point. Very important energy point. Okay, and now we're going to tap that 30 times. Okay, now we do the other side. I believe the calf is one of the most important elements to prevent premature aging. Okay? And put that on the left knee, kind of squeeze that a little bit. Or you can use your finger, but it's just very hard as we age. I use my mom as a standard. If it's hard for her, I know it's hard for lots of people. All right, get ready, go. Okay, all right. So I talk about high blood pressure, and I said that high blood pressure is very important. Um, and part of that is you don't get enough oxygen into your brain, and part of it is because in the Chinese they call it you have too much fire. You have too much liver fire, which is another way of saying that you have too much stress hormone, right? So the part of the liver, the beginning of the liver energy line is right between the big toe and the second toe. And so I want you to massage that first. And you know you have too much liver fire when you wake up in in the middle of the night between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. That's when the liver meridians is active. Okay. So if you can sleep through that, that's a good sign. All right, so now there's two energy points. One is right at the bottom of the toes, right at the V. So I want you to massage. You feel that it's a little bit painful. And then the other one is before the toes join together, is right there. Okay, those two, and then just kind of massage that again. And now I want you to flip it up like this, and notice that the ball area has actually like a separation between the big toe and the second one. I want you to use your thumb, use the edge of the thumb and just kind of scrape that. These would help with your high blood pressure, okay? Now I want you to take the big toe and bend it back. You see the tendon here? I want you to scrape that. This is called the longevity tendon. And then I want you to scrape the bottom of the feet. And then now I want you to scrape the arch. The arch is very important. This is where the meridian that we name after the splint and the meridian that we name after the kidney goes through. So arch is very important to scrape, especially about 2 inches right below the bone. Scrape that. This is the important part of the splint energy line. The splint energy, splint in the stomach, that's the earth element. So as much as the water element is the precursor of life, the 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 earth element is the cradle of life, right? So imagine trying to grow vegetable with bad soil. So the splint energy line is very important. It's responsible for both transport and transformation, like the soil, right? So transformation is your digestion, and transport is your return of water. So when you have swelling on your feet, that's a bad thing, right? Because the water is returned through the lymph, and so if you have water retention, that means your lymph node is blocked. And that's all part of the splint energy line. So this is the part that is important where we locate the, what is that called? The angle, huh? Okay. We measure 4 fingers. We find the bone just right below the bone. This is the energy point called 3 yin meet. And then we identify the bone between the angle and the knee right below, and we scrape. So if you have swelling on your feet, the doctor is going to give you some medicine, and sure enough, it reduces the swelling. But what it does is that it excites your kidney so that you pass out more urine, but then you pass out a lot of mineral as well, and so in the end, you end up hurting your kidney. Okay, so rather than taking medicine, try doing this. All right. Okay, so now we're back to the ball area, and right below, uh, is where this important energy point called the gushing spring. Okay, so kind of push on that. It hurts, huh? Okay, and then we're going to do one more tapping called the mixing the water and fire, because this is water element. This one right here is the fire element. So you bend your toes back, you form empty hand, you put that on top. I'm going to tap that 30 times. Get ready, go. Continue. Okay, so this technique comes from a doctor in the Tang Dynasty about 1500 years ago. He documented this technique when he was 120. All right, now to the right foot quickly. The liver, and then first energy point, and then the second one, back to that. Turn it upside down, bend the toes back, locate this gap between the toe and the second toe, scrape that, and then bend it back some more, scrape the tendon, scrape the bottom of your feet, scrape the arch, especially right below the bone, and then move up above the angle, measure 4 fingers below the bone, do some acupressure right here, and then scrape from the angle to the knee inside the bone. And then back to the gushing spring. If I just do it without explaining, it's very simple, very fast, right? Okay, now, okay, mixing the water and fire, bend the toes back, forming empty hand, get ready, go. Continue. Okay, and then massage a little bit. Okay, we're done. Now to the floor. Okay. All right. So first we have a couple more energy points that we have to work on. One is behind the knee. So we bend the knee a little bit, put the 4 fingers behind, thumb on the side, straighten up the back. Get ready, go. Continue. And then the other one is right here, okay? And so we take a fist and get ready, go. Okay, so there's a set of technique called tapping the eight. Um, I don't know how to translate, but the eight cavity. And so the eight cavities are here, 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 and here. Okay. Now, if you feel the temperature, they're actually the four areas that are the warmest in your body. Okay. I remember when I was climbing the mountain, up in the mountains, very cold, minus 40 degree. And the only way I could keep warm is to do this. Okay. So they're the warmest of the body. They're actually closest to your your energy inside. And they also the places where you get attacked by external forces causing you illness. So people, if they don't do anything, they just tap those 8 points right here, right here, right here, and right here. Also, when you after you take a shower, get in the habit of using a blow dryer and just dry those four area. Make sure that they're not wet. Okay, when you go to sleep. All right. Okay, so now we're ready for what's called Yi Jing Jing. Yi Jing Jing is translated into Yi is the renewal, Jing is the tendon, which is a mistranslation. It's not the tendon, it's the connected tissue. So the closest Western understanding is called fascia, but that's very limited. Fascia comes from the word of myofascia, which is the connective tissue of the muscle. This is beyond that. But in any case, this exercise is a very important longevity exercise. It was given to us by Bodhidharma, a North Indian yogi, who legend has it lived to hit when he was 180. Okay, it combines three elements. It combines the stretching of the chi energy line, or the fascia. It combines cardio exercise, both the lung and the heart, and then finally it works on the muscle. And you can imagine how important all those three elements are for aging. Now, it comes into 14 forms, dealing with all 12 meridians plus the primary channel. And it's very important that you start with the right posture. So you first take your feet and you plant it firmly on the ground. Now, why do I say that? Turns out that when we're under a lot of stress, there's a lot of like corners in the body. Next time when you sleep, um, check to see if you're actually touching your bed, and you might find that actually you're not touching your bed. Your body has these corners and all these pressure points. Okay, so you need to kind of loosen up your feet as if you really firmly plant your feet onto the mat. Then what you do is you take your toes and you turn it inward, and you loosen your knee a little bit. You don't have to go like this. You just have to don't lock it. And what that does is that it activates the calf. This is a very important part. Unless the fire element comes up, and then in the end we jump because we want to exercise that part. All right. Okay. So now the next thing you want to do is you want to stretch your spine, open that shoulder, relax, lean back the forehead, tuck in the chin. What you're doing, you're forming a straight line from the top of the head through the central nervous systems and down. Okay? Because the first exercise is called spirit boosting palm. So now your focus is on the center of your palm. You put that on either side of the hip, but you make sure that it's in the plane. So you don't put in front, you don't put in the back, just right here, because you want to send a shot wave through the spine. Now, I'm going to say go, but that's not really where you want to go. Where you want to what you that's just um, a sign to tell you to focus on the center of your palm. So this is when you focus on the center of the palm, mind, body together, and then on your own you say go like this. Okay, get ready, go. And then now it's very important that you come back and you focus on your breathing. You completely relax. You do two breaths. So each one is individual. You start at the beginning. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. And then second breath. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Now, this is also a time when you check the inside your mouth to see if it's still dry. Because when you're actually like relaxed like this, you're returning your body to the rest and digest. And the indication that you're in rest and digest is that your salivary glands is reactivated again. Right? That's why one of the form is that we have to swallow the saliva. Right? Make sure that's a check. Okay, now second time, open the shoulder, palms facing down, get ready, go. And then relax, focus on the breathing, one breath at a time. Check the inside your mouth. Second time, go. And then back to the breathing, one breath at a time. So we're actually cycling our body between the two autonomous mode. One is called sympathetic and one is called parasympathetic. That's how you restore your self-healing power, because when you're in the sympathetic side, you're releasing stress hormone, and the stress hormone is cortisol. Cortisol is a form of steroid, so that's when you want to reduce inflammation in your body. And when you're in fight or flight, that's when you want to restore the sensitivity to steroid. Okay? All right, so now the next one is called pointing the Jiwan. Pointing is the same word that we use for the thumb. So now the focus should be from the palm to the thumb. Then you take your thumb and you're pointing to this energy point called the Wan Tel. And so you just point to it, you don't touch it. Then you roll up your four fingers and then you lift up your thumb as if you're lifting up 2 buckets of water as hard as you can. This, this, this activate your large intestine meridian. And then you relax your fingers without lowering them, and you're back to your breathing. One breath at a time. Second time, and then relax. Again, check the inside your mouth. One last time, and then lower your hands, completely relax. Okay, the next one is called beginner's mind. Baby's mind. This is what the baby does. Remember, there's an energy point here that I talk about. You put your thumb across like this. You roll up your fingers and you squeeze your thumb, your fist, sorry. You squeeze your fist. So you're putting pressure on those two energy points. And then you open your fingers, you relax without lowering your hand. Feel the inside your mouth. Close your mouth. Second time. This is what the baby does inside the mother's womb to energize the heart meridian. After 2 breaths, one last time. And then lower your hand, completely relax. Now you take a deep breath by putting the fists together below the belly button. As you take a deep breath, you move up, you move towards the ceiling. You bring your hands until you get to the nose. Okay, get ready. Breathe in. And then relax. Now you bring your elbows together. Now your entire focus in the back. The back is the meridians that we name after the bladder. And what you're doing now is you stretch the back as hard as you can, and then relax. Second time. And then you relax. Focus on your breathing. One last time. And then you relax. The next one is the fists above the head. So you focus on the fist. You open the shoulder. You bring your fist above the head and you open your hands. So the bloods are flowing to the fingertips. Then you roll your fist one joint at a time, one joint, two joint. Open the shoulder, lock the fist, and you squeeze as hard as you can as if you're pumping blood into your heart. And then you let go, let the blood comes back to the fingertip. So this is very cardio. Second time, open your shoulder, roll the fist, squeeze as hard as you can, and then relax. Open the fingers, focusing on the breathing. And then one last time, and then relax. The next one called stabbing the shoulder. So you open your shoulder, you grab the dagger, you point the dagger onto your shoulder. So basically you line up this energy point to the merging valley with the other energy point here called the well on the shoulder. So you grab your dagger, you point the dagger onto your shoulder, you open your shoulder. Now feel the back of your neck as you push down. Very tight, right? That's good. And then relax. Okay, so the chi flows freely now to the top of your head. After 2 breaths, second time, stab. Feel the tightness behind your neck. And then relax. One last time, stab. And then relax. The next one is called the cross. Now, to make sure that you understand this, we're not punching, we're stretching, we're pushing. Okay, you're stretching the fascia on the top of your arm, the triple warmer. Now, you first rotate your wrist. Remember all the energy points on the wrist. Then you roll your fist, you take a deep breath, and you push against the 2 trees or walls, or whatever you want to put there. And you push, and then you relax. Second time. And you push, and then you relax. One last time. And you push, and then you relax. Continue. This is called the front. Okay. And get ready. And you push, and then you relax. You push as hard as you can. Okay. Second time. Roll your fist, take a deep breath, and you push, and then you relax. Check the inside of your mouth. One last time. And you push, and then you relax. Okay. Now comes to the next 2 exercises. We have to do muscle. Remember how important muscle is for aging? You open your shoulder, you look up, you see this bar across, you grab the bar, and you pull yourself up using all your muscle, and then you relax. You don't use it, you lose it, okay? Second time, look up, and you pull yourself up, and then you relax. One last time, and then you relax. We continue. The next one I call it ripping the yellow page. Imagine you have a yellow page, you grab half on one side, half on the other, and you just rip the sucker. And then you relax. Okay, get second time. Rip, use those muscles. And then you relax. 2 breaths, second time. And then relax. And now we swallow. Get all your salivas together. And swallow all the way to here, called the dantian. Now the next part is important in that you need to go back to what's called the goat stand. You're loosening up your knee and the back of the hand touching. You straighten up your back. This is actually the important exercise for your kidney energy line. And you, without lifting, without locking your knee, your knee stay where it is. You go down. Then you squeeze your fists, back of the hand touching. Straighten up your elbow, okay? Looking straight down, second time. Third time. Okay, so here comes the fun part that everybody likes. You flip your hand, you're looking at the palm of your hand. Make sure you don't stand up. You're loosening up your knee like this. And you breathe in, and you breathe out, and you breathe in, pointing your palm toward, lower your knee, and you push. Then you breathe in, cause swallow the universe. And then you breathe out. And you slowly walk back to the seat. So today we talk about biological age. In other words, it's another way of saying how to prevent premature aging. Premature aging has to do with inflammation in the body. So we don't talk about the importance of food we eat, how we eat, what we eat, when we eat. We don't talk about the importance of how we drink, what we drink, and when we drink. We don't talk about the importance of um, your exercise and your resting and how it's important to get good quality sleep. We don't talk about, um, not yet, we will talk about your mental state to reduce inflammation. Turns out mental state is a big important part of reducing inflammation. We mainly talk about exercise today. And the exercise is really to release the self-healing power of your body to reduce inflammation because your body is designed to heal itself, right? And when we're under the sun, outside the cave, chasing lions or being chased by the lions, that's when the body inflames and the body puts out stress hormone, something called cortisol, a form of steroid. And then when you're done, you come back to the cave, you go from fight or flight to rest and digest, and that's when the body restores the sensitivity to the cortisol, right? The problem we have is we have too much cortisol, we have too much stress hormone in the body, and the body loses the sensitivity. So it loses the self healing power that is innate to your body, and that's why your body inflames. Okay, so all we're doing here is restoring that balance, and we go from the yin and the yang like this. And this we did that all through the day, all through the hour and a half. We did that with this exercise, and now we're going to do it with meditation. Okay, so the meditation is about energy that travels in your back. There's a yang energy. And so that's this fight or flight, and energy travels in the inside of your body. That's the yin side. That's the rest and digest. Okay, it comes into three steps. Altogether, we call that the wandering dragon chasing the pearl. But first, we're going to sit properly. And when we talk about energy, we cannot just talk about energy from a food body, right? The food body is the body that sustains alive. It comes from the food that we consume. And so the chi is not what we ate this morning. The chi is actually the chi within the universe. And we want to be the conduit between the energy from the earth to the energy to the universe. So we need to learn how to sit properly. And we do that by focusing on our legs, make sure that we're not using any muscle. And if you have to, you put some blankets and pillows so we're not using muscle. Muscle means fire, so we don't want that. And you make sure that your hands are nicely resting somewhere. You don't lift it up like this. But more importantly, most importantly, is you want to learn how to sit properly. So this technique is called the wandering dragon chasing the pearl. So imagine a dragon is walking on your spine. Start at the very bottom of your spine, walking up one step at a time. So as the dragon walk along your spine, walk towards the ceiling, I want you to learn to stretch your spine one joint at a time. Stretch it as hard as you can. And then I want you to lean back and then relax. I want you to open that shoulder and then relax. I want you to lean back, the forehead, so the ears on top of the shoulder, the weight of the head is on top of the spine. And then I want you to tuck in the chin so the 100 meet the top of the head is on top of the spine. I want you to close your eye. Imagine your eyes are like the window shades. I want you to close it, but don't shut it tight. Relax the eyelid like the baby. And you can actually see some light coming through your eyelashes. You can kind of see the floor, the knee, the hand, and so forth. And then most importantly, finally, I want you to relax the inside of your mouth. And then I want you to take the tip of the tongue and put it behind this energy point called the middle of being. So essentially, you close your mouth, you put the tip of the tongue behind the teeth, where the teeth meets the roof of your mouth, right behind here. And this does three things. It turns on your salivary glands because it forces you into the rest and digest. It, to the extent that there's saliva in your mouth, it makes sure that it flows into your stomach and not to your lung. And then most importantly, it conducts the yin and the yang. Now I want you to focus on your belly button. Today I'm going to go a little deeper, a little deeper. And so I want you to understand that there are actually 4 energy points. There's 2 right here on top of the kidney. And the kidney comes in a pair, so there's actually yin and yang. And between, there's an energy point right here called the gate of life. And this is where all the yang energy started. And on the other side, right below the belly button, is called the sea of qi. This is where all the yin energy accumulates. This is, in fact, where you receive energy from your mother, right? When you're inside the womb. So just think about these 4 energy points. So one thing that I want you to learn to do is after you stretch your spine before you lean back, I actually want you to lean forward first. And then as you lean back, I want you to keep the hip in place. So as you bring back your upper torso with the hip in place, you actually feel the pressure on these 2 energy points, right? Okay, so maintain that pressure. Now I want you to focus on these 2 energy points, one in the back and one in the front. And as you breathe in, I want you to take this energy point, the one in the front below the belly button. This is called the Sea of Qi. And I want you to take that energy point and bring it as far forward as possible, as if you bring it across the room. Then when you breathe out, I want you to bring that belly button and as if you're bringing the energy point and collapsing it with the back. You bring the yang, the yin and the yang together. You bring this belly button back as if you're collapsing it with the back. And then when you breathe in, you relax, you bring it forward. And when you breathe out, you bring it back again. So one of the things that you're doing is you're actually moving your diaphragm. So when you bring out, when you push your belly button forward, you're pushing down the diaphragm, increasing the lung capacity. And as you bring the belly button back, you're pushing up the diaphragm, squeezing all the stale air out from your lung. Okay, so let's just sit for 3 minutes. This is the first step. This is called cultivating. This is called mindful of the body to cultivate the qi. Breathe in, forward. Breathe out, backward. 1 breath at a time. Okay. Now we get to the second part. The first part is called cultivating, mindful of the or the body. In this case, mindful of your stomach, your belly button, to cultivate the chi. And by chi, we mean the static electricity that you generate in the small intestines. When you move the diaphragm, you're actually moving the small intestines, which are piezoelectric. And so now you have a lot of static electrons in your stomach. And we want to cycle those electrons through our spine, okay, creating a electrical circuit and therefore creating a magnetic field and creating the resonance with the magnetic field in the universe. And so the second one is called cultivating the chi to unleash the mind. And so now this is the time where we let go of the belly button. We continue to feel our breathing. And you notice that when you breathe, your stomach opens slightly. And when you breathe out, the stomach collapses slightly. It does that all by itself. I want you to focus on the bottom of your spine, in between the kidney. And as you breathe in, I want you to move up the spine as if a dragon is walking on it. And I want you to walk towards the ceiling, stretch the spine, feel the energy that is traveling on your spine. And when you get to the top of the head, and that's when you start breathing out. I want you to come down in the front of the body from the top of the head to the forehead, to the bridge of your nose, to the tip of your nose, to the bridge of your nose, to the tongue, and then down the chin, and then all the way towards the belly button. And I want you to lean back and relax. You breathe in, you move straight ahead, straight up, stretch the body to the top of the head. You breathe out, you come back from the front, and you lean back and you relax. Now, all you have to do is focus on it, and the mind does the rest. The mind is actually what we're talking about here is actually the gap between the left brain and the right brain, and this part of the body creates the electrical potential. It actually brings electrons up your spine and then bring it back down. Okay, so we're going to sit for 3 minutes. We're going to go over time a little bit, and this one is called cultivating the chi to unleash the mind. One breath at a time. Okay. Now, the third part is very abstract. It's called emancipating the mind to return to emptiness. Very abstract, very hard to understand. So, um, instead, we use a different term called wandering dragon chasing the pearl, which describes all three. And so, let's back to the middle part where we are guiding the chi up the spine. And so it's very important when you do that, you stretch your spine because that's the only time you can actually feel the energy traveling on your spine is when you stretch it towards the ceiling. And that's what we call the pearl. Now, after a while, you start to feel that this energy rises on its own. And so you're just chasing it. So that's why it's called the dragon chasing the pearl. The dragon is your mind. You're just following the pearl. But it's important to understand that it's called a wandering dragon. It's a free dragon. So as you travel up the spine to the top of the head, the key is not to constrain the dragon, but rather to think that there's a cloud on top of your on your head, and you're letting the dragon go all the way up as far up as it wants into the cloud, into its ancestral home. And then only when you breathe out, the dragon comes back, travel from the front of the body, you lean back, you relax until you get into the belly button, inside the abdomen, the dantian. That's like your dragon is returning to the cave. And once again, you let it go, you let it rest into the cave. In fact, you can even feel the leg of the dragon pushing on your spine, pushing on the both side, left and right side of the kidney. That's how you maintain the pressure. And you let it stay there and rest for as long as it wants until you start to breathe in again. You travel up to the top of the head into the cloud. You feel the coolness in your head. And then when you breathe out, you bring it back into your stomach. You feel the warmth of your stomach. Let's just sit for 3 more minutes. Okay, we're done. Open your eyes. All right. So we talk about biological age. We talk about premature aging. We talk about inflammation as the main culprit for premature aging. And so, if you can find a way to reverse the inflammation, then we are reversing aging process. Okay, and you do that by watching out on what you eat. Make sure that there are food that are inflammatory, like fried food, using seed oil, um, packaged food, processed food. All those are bad for you. So eating less of that can only be good for you. Be careful what you drink. Okay, any kind of sugary drinks, too much coffee, too much tea, too much coffee is bad for you. Try to stay away from alcohol. But um, if you read the book about the blue zones, they actually drink alcohol. It's kind of paradoxical. They actually drink alcohol to for longevity. But it's important to understand that what they drink is fermented drinks, not distilled drinks. So beer, whiskey, all those drinks are distilled and they're not good for you. But wine and rice wine and all that, those are fermented. They never gone through this distillation. Those are actually good for you. They actually help with your probiotics, and they have other elements that help you. So what you eat, what you drink, how you work and rest, and how you exercise. And don't try to do energetic exercise. Energetic exercise creates more stress hormone in your body. Yeah, it creates a lot of other hormone as well. But one of the problems is that it actually um, inflames your body. And so here we are balancing between energetic and restorative. We're spending equal time on that. It's very important. And so everything that we do here is really to restore that balance, that harmony between yin and yang, between the uh, fight or flight, which is good. It reduces inflammation, and the rest and digest, which is important. We restore the sensitivity. Okay, that balance is important. And finally, your mental state matters more than anything else. So if you look at the five blue zones, they have Okinawa, they have the island in Italy, they have another island in Greece, they have Costa Rica, and then finally they have a community in California, east of Los Angeles, of all places, south of Riverside. I've been there, right? It's called Linda Loma. It's a region, it's a place where a particular sect of Christians live. These are called the Seventh Day Adventists. The Seventh Day Adventists follows the Bible, and so they're vegetarians. That's what God told Adam and Eve in the book of Genesis, that the garden and all the plants that have fruits are for you. All the other plants that have grain are for the animal. He's telling Adam and Eve to be vegetarian. And so these Seventh day Adventists, they're vegetarians. They don't eat meat at all. But more important than that is that they follow the Bible. The Sabbath is on Saturday, but they follow the Bible and they practice what Jesus practiced, which is loving kindness, compassion, and empathy. Service is the most important part of the daily life. And service is built on gratitude. You have to be grateful for yourself, for your being, for your family, before you can provide service and compassion to others. So the mind is the most important part to reduce inflammation. I give you an example. People who are angry all the time, anger is fire. They feed on the vegetation. The vegetation in the body is liver. And so you will find that people who are angry all the time tend to have liver cancer. And I can go on and on like that. And so your state of mind affects your body more than anything else. So to finish, and since I won't see you for 2 weeks, I wanted to be sure that we finish on a prayer that it doesn't come from the Bible, but it comes from a clergy, and it's called the Serenity Prayer. But it's built on gratitude. We need to be grateful to our body first. I can talk about grateful being to your family, grateful to your siblings and your wife, but that's individual. Everybody has his own thing. But your body is what we have in common. Be grateful to this body. Be the whisperer to this body. This is your partner. This is really truly your life partner. So be very grateful to your body. Be very grateful to your health. And with that, I want you to put your hands together, this universal gesture for our humbleness, our gratitude, and our respect for all positive energy, all forms of positive energy that we give individual names to. I want you to see through your eyelid. I want you to focus on the light in front of you. I want you to examine the color of that light. The color of the light is actually individualized. Everybody has different color because everybody relates differently to their own creator. Name her if you must. I name her as God as I know her. I'm very grateful for her grace. I want to ask for the courage to change this world to a better world in spite of all odds. I want to ask for the courage to do the very best I can to make this a better place in spite of all odds. I want to ask for the serenity to accept changes that I cannot make, that are beyond my capability, beyond my resources. The serenity that at least I can change myself. I want to ask for the wisdom that is within me, that is often covered by my own silliness and foolishness, much like the cloud covers the sun. We don't see the sun because we turn our back to it. We don't see the sun because of the black cloud. I want to ask the wisdom to continue with this practice so I can push away all this black cloud and let my own wisdom reveal itself so that I know the difference. May we all be blessed with health, with happiness, and with peace. Namaste. Goodbye, everyone. See you in 2 weeks, okay? All right. Keep up the practice. Everything's recorded. Just look for me on YouTube and Facebook. And if you have any question you want to ask, I can still answer them on the roll. Just join the circle mindfulness fellowship and ask questions there. Okay? All right. See you all in 2 weeks. Okay. 我哋星期一見嚇。OK。好，多謝大家。我哋星期一見嚇。OK。拜拜。
拜拜。Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 拜拜。感恩大家，感恩大家支持。OK。拜拜。